All right, so you're getting ready for this Marine Chief Engineer interview,
Yeah.
and that's got to be pretty exciting stuff.
Oh, for sure. It's a demanding role. But think about it, leading a team,
Right.
keeping those massive ships running,
Yeah.
maybe even traveling the world.
Exactly. And we've got a whole bunch of RoleCatcher resources here to help people prepare.
Absolutely.
We got career guides, interview guides, even information on how RoleCatcher's AI can tailor answers for you.
It's amazing what technology can do these days.
I know. It's crazy. We're going to dive deep into these resources
Yes.
and help equip you to not just answer those tough questions, but to really impress those interviewers.
That's the goal, to really stand out.
Okay, so let's just jump right in.
Let's do it.
Almost like we're in the interview room with you.
Okay. I like it.
And that first question might seem simple, but it's really your chance to set the stage. What inspired you to pursue a career as a Marine Chief Engineer?
That's a good one. And it's so common. You don't want to just say, I like boats.
Right. This is where you connect your personal story to the demands of the role. What got you interested in this field? Was it a childhood fascination with ships?
Yeah.
A mentor who inspired you? A documentary about a daring rescue at sea?
I love that.
You really need to share an anecdote
Yeah.
that shows why you're driven
Right.
and makes that interviewer really see your passion.
Exactly. Make it memorable.
Absolutely.
Now, what if they follow up with something like, what aspects of this career path resonate most with you?
Oh, that's a good follow-up.
Yeah.
That gives you a chance to highlight your values and motivations. Maybe you love the challenge of solving really complex technical problems.
Yeah.
The responsibility of making sure everyone's safe at sea,
Right.
or the chance to lead and mentor a team.
Yeah.
Really think about what excites you about being a Marine Chief Engineer
Yeah.
and tell them clearly.
So I'm showing them not just my skills,
Yes.
but my enthusiasm for the job.
Exactly. Passion is key.
And you know what else I love? What's that?
RoleCatcher's AI can help tailor those answers.
Oh, yeah. It's a game changer.
I know it analyzes the job description, picks out keywords
Yep.
and skills that they're looking for.
It's like having a personalized guide for your responses,
Totally.
making sure they really connect with that hiring manager.
That's amazing.
I know, right?
Okay, let's move on to the technical stuff.
All right, let's get into it.
Question 2. What is your experience with marine diesel engines?
Yes, the heart of the ship.
I know, and this is where the details are really important.
Absolutely. You need to go beyond just saying, I have experience.
Right.
Mention the specific types of engines you've worked on.
Like what?
2-stroke, 4-stroke, slow speed, medium speed. You know, the big, powerful ones,
Yeah.
the ones that move those massive ships.
It's impressive.
Oh, it is. Imagine those huge pistons pumping away,
Wow.
generating thousands of horsepower.
That's powerful.
It is fascinating stuff.
Okay, so here's where I think it gets really interesting.
Okay, I'm listening.
They might ask, can you describe a time you had to troubleshoot a complex engine problem? What was your approach?
That's where you really get to shine.
Yeah.
Show them how you solve problems.
Yeah.
Walk them through how you diagnose the issue. Did you start with the fuel system?
Okay.
Analyze the exhaust?
Interesting.
Maybe use some specialized tools to figure out what was wrong?
Right.
The key here is to explain the steps.
Yeah.
Highlight your logical thinking and technical expertise.
So I'm painting this picture of myself as a capable engineer.
Exactly. Someone who can handle anything.
All right. Shifting gears a bit. Question 3.
Okay.
This one's about regulations. How do you ensure compliance with regulatory requirements in marine engineering operations?
Yes, the rules and regs.
And I bet the career guide talks about some key organizations and regulations too.
It does things like the International Maritime Organization, the IMO.
Okay.
They set those global standards for safety, security, and environmental stuff. So you want to get familiar with regulations like MARPOL, which
Right.
is all about preventing pollution, and SOLAS, which focuses on safety of life at sea.
Okay.
And don't forget to give specific examples
Yeah.
of how you've followed these rules in your past roles.
So I'm showing them that I don't just follow the rules,
Right.
but I actually understand why they're important.
Exactly. It shows you're responsible.
What if they ask, can you describe a time you had to correct a course of action to stay compliant?
Oh, that's a good one. It allows you to really show your commitment to doing things the right way.
Yeah.
Maybe you found a safety hazard and had to stop everything to fix it.
Right.
Or maybe you saw something that wasn't good for the environment
Yeah.
and you took steps to make it right.
Okay.
These examples prove your integrity,
Yeah.
that you'll prioritize safety and compliance every time.
That's great. Okay, now we know leading a team is a big part of this job.
Absolutely essential.
So question 4. What is your experience managing a team of engineers and technicians?
Here's your chance to show off your leadership style.
Okay.
Are you collaborative?
Yeah.
Results-oriented? Maybe you're all about safety first.
Yeah.
Share a quick story that shows how you lead.
Like what kind of story?
Did you mentor a junior engineer?
Right.
Resolve a conflict? Or did you create a new training program?
Uh-huh.
One that made things safer and more efficient?
Interesting.
Stories are powerful,
Yeah.
especially when they show leadership.
Okay, now I'm guessing RoleCatcher's AI can help here too, right?
Oh, definitely. It can analyze your answer,
Uh-huh.
see if there are any gaps.
Okay.
For example, if you forget to talk about safety.
Which is super important.
Exactly. The AI might suggest you add that in.
It's like having a coach whispering tips.
Totally.
What if they follow up with, how would you describe your approach to delegating tasks and empowering your team?
Oh, that's a really good question.
Yeah.
That's where you can explain your leadership philosophy.
Okay.
Do you like to clearly define everyone's roles? Encourage open communication and feedback.
Right.
Maybe you focus on professional development and mentoring. Whatever your approach is, articulate it.
Okay.
And give concrete examples of how you've successfully delegated and built that sense of ownership within your team.
Awesome.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the Marine Chief Engineer interview.
In part 1, we went through some tough questions,
Yeah.
focusing on, your personal story,
Yeah.
your technical skills, and your leadership style.
Absolutely. It's a good foundation.
But now let's get into some of those more challenging scenarios
Okay, I'm ready.
and explore how to showcase those intangible qualities.
Yeah.
The things that make a Marine Chief Engineer truly exceptional.
Right. It's not just about knowing the answers.
Right.
It's about showing you can think critically, solve problems, and adapt to those unexpected situations.
Exactly. Because things can change quickly out at sea.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so question 5 takes us back to the technical stuff.
Okay, let's hear it.
What is your experience with preventative maintenance programs?
Ah, yes. The key to smooth sailing.
I'm sensing a story opportunity here.
Definitely, this is where you get to shine as a proactive problem solver.
Okay, I like it.
Don't just list tasks you did.
Right.
Explain how you analyzed data-identified trends.
Uh-huh.
Maybe even implemented a new software system for tracking maintenance.
Yeah.
Or you could talk about a training program you develop
Yeah,
to help your team be more efficient.
that's great.
And if you've got a story about how your preventative maintenance efforts prevented a major disaster,
Like what?
a catastrophic engine failure,
Oh, wow.
or a costly delay,
Yeah,
share it because that's powerful stuff.
right. It shows the value you can bring.
Exactly.
Now, what if they follow up with, what metrics do you use to track the effectiveness of your preventative maintenance programs?
Oh, that's a good one. You want to be ready to discuss specific metrics.
Okay, like what?
Maybe it's a reduction in equipment downtime, a decrease in those maintenance costs,
Uh-huh.
or even an improvement in safety records.
Got it.
Because quantifying those achievements with data,
Right.
that's how you impress them.
Data is key.
It is.
All right, question 6. How do you manage risk in marine engineering operations?
Ah, risk management, always a hot topic.
And this one seems pretty broad.
It is. It covers everything from safety to environmental concerns to financial risks.
So it's about thinking big picture.
Yes,
Right.
think strategically. You're out there on the open ocean.
Right.
Rough seas, storms, equipment malfunctions.
Yeah, anything can happen.
Exactly. So talk about conducting risk assessments,
Okay.
developing contingency plans,
Uh-huh.
maybe even share a story about a time you had to make a tough decision.
Like a high-pressure situation.
Exactly. Maybe
Yeah.
you had to weigh safety concerns against operational demands.
Wow, that's intense.
It is, but that's the kind of real-world experience they're looking for.
So I'm showing that I can handle those tough calls.
Exactly. You're calm under pressure.
All right, back to the technical stuff. Question 7. What is your experience with marine electrical systems?
Okay, back to the nuts and bolts.
This one feels kind of familiar.
It is, but remember, specifics are crucial.
Right.
Talk about the types of systems you've worked on,
Okay.
from power generation and distribution
Uh-huh.
to navigation and communication systems.
Yeah, those are important.
And if you've ever upgraded a system to make it better,
Okay.
more efficient, or safer, definitely highlight that.
Got it.
Those details show you're not just maintaining things,
Wow.
you're actively looking for ways to improve them.
I'm going above and beyond.
Exactly.
Now, what if they say, can you describe a challenging electrical problem you faced and how you resolved it?
Another chance to showcase your technical skills.
Yeah.
Think of a time you had to troubleshoot a complex electrical fault.
Okay.
Did you use circuit diagrams, multimeters, or any other fancy tools?
Right.
Walk them through the process.
Okay.
Emphasize your logical thinking and problem-solving abilities.
So I'm showing them I'm a skilled troubleshooter.
Exactly. You're the go-to person for electrical issues.
All right, let's move on to question 8. Ship propulsion systems.
Yes, the heart of the ship, literally.
I remember seeing those massive propellers on a documentary once.
They are impressive, and there are different types of propulsion systems out there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, from traditional shaft and propeller systems
Okay.
to more advanced technologies like azimuth thrusters.
Azimuth thrusters.
Yeah, they're these cool rotating pods
Okay.
that give the ship incredible maneuverability.
Oh, wow. I think I saw those on a cruise ship documentary.
You probably did. They're becoming increasingly popular.
Interesting.
And if you've worked on any projects that focused on things like fuel efficiency, speed, or maneuverability, those are definitely worth mentioning.
Okay, so I'm showing them. I understand how these systems impact the ship's performance.
Exactly. It's about the big picture.
What if they ask, what are the key considerations when selecting a propulsion system for a specific vessel?
Ooh, that's a good one. It really tests your knowledge.
Yeah.
You'll need to talk about things like the vessel's size and type, the environment it operates in, and its purpose.
Got it.
Maybe you need a system that's really fuel efficient for long voyages,
Right.
or one that's super maneuverable for tight spaces.
Makes sense.
So be prepared to discuss those trade-offs and considerations.
Okay, that's a good one to remember.
Definitely.
Now, question 9 tackles a classic challenge. How do you ensure that maintenance and repair work is completed on time and within budget?
The eternal struggle, time and money.
I know, right?
This is where you get to highlight your planning and resource management skills.
Okay.
Talk about the tools and techniques you use.
Like what?
Work orders, timelines, cost tracking systems.
Uh-huh.
And if you have a story about a time you had to get creative to overcome a budget constraint.
Like finding a cheaper solution.
Exactly. Maybe you refurbished a part instead of buying a new one.
Okay.
Or you negotiated a better price with a supplier. It's all about showing you can manage resources effectively.
Right, and get the job done.
Precisely.
What if they dig deeper and ask, can you describe a time when a project went over budget or behind schedule? How did you handle the situation?
Oh, that's a tough one, but it's a good opportunity
Yeah.
to show how you solve problems under pressure.
Okay.
Don't shy away from the question.
Right.
Explain what happened, what factors led to the delays or cost overruns,
Yeah.
and the steps you took to get things back on track.
So I need to show them I can adapt and find solutions.
Exactly. You're a problem solver.
Okay. This is all incredibly helpful.
Good. I'm glad to hear it.
But even with all this preparation, interviews can be nerve-wracking.
Oh, I know the feeling.
What if I freeze up or forget something important?
Remember, preparation is key.
Yeah.
And that's where RoleCatcher's AI can really help.
Oh, right. How so?
It can analyze the job description and create a list of potential questions so you can practice your answers, get feedback, and even record yourself to see how you come across.
It's like a virtual mock interview.
Exactly. It can really boost your confidence.
That's amazing.
It's a fantastic resource.
Okay, so let's switch gears for a minute
Okay, where we're going.
and talk about career progression.
All right, I like it.
The career guide mentioned that marine chief engineers can move into roles like fleet manager or technical manager.
Yes, there are definitely opportunities for growth.
Should I bring that up during the interview?
It's a good question. It's important to focus on the role you're applying for,
Right.
but showing interest in future growth
Uh-huh.
can demonstrate your ambition
Okay.
and commitment to the field.
So how do I do that without making it seem like I'm not fully invested in the marine chief engineer position?
You can subtly mention how you're always eager to learn and take on new challenges.
Okay.
Maybe express interest in specific areas like fleet management or sustainability, highlighting how you're constantly seeking ways to improve your skills and contribute to the industry's growth.
So I'm planting the seeds for the future.
Exactly, but keeping the focus on the present.
Now, I'm curious about salary expectations.
Yes, the money question.
The career guide mentioned it's a high-paying position,
It is.
but I don't want to bring up money too early in the process.
You're right. It's generally best to avoid specifics until later stages.
Right.
But it's wise to research the typical salary range for marine chief engineers in your area.
Where can I find that information?
Websites like Glassdoor or salary.com are good resources.
Okay.
And don't forget, RoleCatcher's AI can also provide salary benchmarks.
Oh, right. That's helpful.
It is. It can give you a good idea of what to expect.
So I'll do my research and be prepared if they ask.
Exactly. Be prepared, but don't bring it up first.
Okay, what about benefits and work-life balance?
Those are important factors.
They are for me.
And it's perfectly acceptable to ask about them.
Okay.
You can subtly weave those questions into the conversation.
Like how?
Maybe when they're talking about the company culture.
You could ask about their approach to work-life balance or their commitment to employee well-being.
That's a good tip.
It allows you to gather information
Right.
without sounding like you're only focused on the perks.
Okay. Any final thoughts on making a lasting impression during the interview?
Let your passion for marine engineering shine through.
Enthusiasm is important.
It is, and remember, stories are your superpower.
Right. Use those anecdotes.
Exactly. They bring your experiences to life.
And of course, RoleCatcher is our secret weapon.
Absolutely. It can make all the difference in your preparation.
I'm feeling much more confident now.
Good. That's the goal.
In part 3 of our deep dive, we'll explore those final stages of the interview process.
Okay.
And talk about what to do after you've wowed those hiring managers. Welcome back to the final part of our Marine Chief Engineer interview deep dive.
We've covered a lot of ground.
We have pre-interview prep.
Yep.
Tackling those tough technical questions, the leadership stuff.
Even how to showcase those problem-solving skills.
It's all important.
Now let's talk about what happens after you've nailed the interview.
Okay. The aftermath?
It's not over yet, is it?
Not quite. The post-interview phase is crucial.
Okay.
It's your chance to really cement that positive impression and show them you're still interested.
Right.
Think of it as that final push to the finish line.
Okay, so what's the first step?
Well,
Do I still need to send a thank you note?
absolutely a well-written thank you note.
Okay.
It's more than just good manners.
Uh-huh.
It's an opportunity to reiterate your enthusiasm,
Right.
reinforce those key points from the interview, and even address any lingering questions or concerns.
So it's not just a generic, thanks for your time message.
No, definitely not. Think of it as a follow-up conversation.
Okay.
Mention something specific you talked about, maybe a shared interest, a challenging project you're excited to tackle, or even a question that really made you think. Personalization is key here.
Got it.
You want to stand out from the crowd?
Show them I was really listening.
Exactly.
Okay, so what about timing? When should I send it?
Ideally within 24 to 48 hours after the interview.
Okay.
It keeps the conversation fresh in their mind.
Right.
And it shows you're prompt and professional.
Prompt and personalized. Got it.
Okay.
Now, what about those follow-up emails?
Oh, yes, the waiting game.
How do I handle it without seeming too pushy?
It's natural to feel anxious.
It is.
But patience is really key.
Okay.
They probably have a process to follow, and constantly emailing them can actually hurt your chances.
Right. Okay. Patience.
But if you haven't heard back in a reasonable time, like a week or two, it's okay to follow up once.
Just once?
Just keep it professional and polite.
Yeah.
Simply ask about the timeline for a decision, and you can even reiterate your enthusiasm for the role.
Got it. One follow-up email is acceptable.
Exactly.
Now let's say I get the amazing news that I got the job.
Congratulations.
Time to celebrate, right?
Absolutely. But before you pop the champagne, take a close look at that offer letter.
The offer letter.
Make sure all the details are right.
Okay, like what kind of details?
Salary, benefits.
What if something's not clear?
If you have any concerns at all, don't hesitate to reach out to the hiring manager or HR.
Okay.
It's much better to clear up any misunderstandings up front.
Right. That makes sense.
It does.
Okay, now what about salary negotiation?
Ah, yes, the art of the deal.
Is it okay to negotiate at this stage?
It's definitely worth considering.
Okay.
Especially for a role as important as Marine Chief Engineer.
Right.
Do your research beforehand.
Correct.
Know the typical salary range for this position in your area.
Got it.
And be prepared to explain why you're worth what you're asking for.
So if I have a strong track record and unique skills, I should highlight those.
Absolutely. Focus on the value you bring to the company.
Okay.
Not just your personal financial needs.
Right.
Be confident but respectful.
Confident and respectful. Got it.
And always keep it professional.
Okay, what if their initial offer is already within my desired range?
Even then, you can still explore other aspects of the offer.
Like what?
Maybe additional vacation time, professional development opportunities,
Interesting.
or even a flexible work arrangement.
That'd be nice.
It's about finding a package that really works for you.
So it's more than just the salary.
It is. It's about your overall well-being.
Okay, let's say everything goes well and I accept the offer.
Fantastic.
What are those final steps before I start the job?
Stay organized and communicate.
Okay.
Confirm your start date.
Uh-huh.
Make sure all the paperwork is done.
Right.
And if there's any pre-employment training or onboarding materials, review them carefully.
Okay, so I'm ready to go on day one.
Exactly. You want to hit the ground running.
Now, looking beyond that start date, the career guide talked about continuous learning.
Yes, that's crucial in this field.
Why is that?
The maritime industry is always changing.
Uh-huh.
New technologies, new regulations.
Right.
A good marine chief engineer is always learning,
Okay.
staying ahead of the curve.
So the learning never really stops.
Nope. Embrace those opportunities for professional development.
Like what?
Industry conferences, certifications.
Okay.
Maybe even taking on challenging projects, things that push you out of your comfort zone.
It's all about growing and improving.
Exactly, and staying curious.
Well, I think we've covered just about everything in this deep dive into the Marine Chief Engineer interview.
I think so too.
Remember, you've got this.
You do.
Approach the interview with confidence.
Yes.
Showcase your expertise.
Uh-huh.
Let that passion shine through.
And don't forget about RoleCatcher.
Right? Those resources are amazing.
They are. They can really make a difference.
I'm feeling inspired and ready to tackle this.
That's great to hear.
To all those aspiring Marine Chief Engineers out there, set your sights high, prepare diligently, and never stop learning. The high seas await, and your leadership is needed.
Go get 'em.